Well, welcome everyone to Obsidian Office Hours, where we talk about all things Obsidian, productivity, and just growth development as a whole. So today, what I wanted to do is we wanted to go over. So if you were here last week from the stream, we actually had some maintainers stop by, which was very, very awesome. It was nice to have this guest audience around. And I've gotten inspired to really dive into Obsidian Buttons, which is a plugin that I've been honestly looking to spend some time on. And so we're going to go ahead and work on that together today. Hello, how's it going, ArkNECA? Good to see you. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and see if all this works. All right, so I'm switching over to OBS. Let's go over to my live stream. Boom. Okay, so looks like the transition went over okay. Great. Excellent. All right. I'm going to actually, let me pause this here. Great. All right, so first thing first on the agenda, ecosystem updates. So basically, if you didn't know already, actually, let me bump this up a little bit more so it's easier for people to see. Last week, we spent time on 0.13, which was a minor insider build that's being tested out right now. And live preview is basically working. So believe it or not, right now, you're actually seeing it where I'm actually in editor mode. So if I come in here and like you take a look at this link right here, I can click inside of it and then I see the full markdown syntax. But then when I navigate away, it collapses and is very nice. So a lot of the clutter disappears. And honestly, I've been using the insider build now since it's been released. And overall, it's been a really pleasant experience, really enjoying live preview as it stands, to be honest. I've noticed some syncing issues that I don't know if it's related to the Git plugin or whatever I'm trying to figure out, getting a lot of weird conflict files. But as far as the editor experience, live preview has been honestly pretty fantastic. So just can't wait to see what else they do with it, but already recommended. So if you're already in Insider's build, it's fun to play around with. Can't recommend it enough. All right, with that, let's talk about Obsidian Roundup. So this is, once again, a newsletter by Eleanor Connick, who spends her time to go ahead and gather what's going on in the field. And so very excited and grateful for the work that she does. All right, let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay, so as far as some highlights inside of here, there's a lot of discussion around live preview, as you might expect. So inside of here, inside of plugin news, some of the things I want to go ahead and highlight that I found interesting is that there is a new cooklang plugin. So for those of us who like to cook and, sort of work on things in the kitchen, apparently, I didn't know this, there's like a whole syntax around recipes and how to like design things. So this is really cool. So I thought I would share that for those of you who might want to be like investing in recipes inside of your Obsidian Vault. Then this is definitely a plugin to take a look at. Another one I thought was interesting as well is, let me go back, scroll down, is the Obsidian Trello plugin. I know Trello is a really popular app with people. And so there apparently is an Obsidian plugin to actually have those things stay in sync, which is really cool and gives me all sorts of ideas for how maybe we could have plugins in the future, particularly for things like Notion, because I know a lot of people really love Notion, but then they don't necessarily want to divorce all the things they've done with Notion from Obsidian. So hopefully that to me is like a future plugin I'd like to see more work done around. So yeah. Yep. So Jacob here about the plugin. Yeah. So the cooking plugin is pretty great. And once again, it's exciting to see people start to do more integrations, because while Obsidian has been in its early days sort of more of like almost like a developer oriented tool, in the sense like you kind of have to really get used to like things being more markdown syntax and that kind of thing, it's really nice to see things starting to mature and have more integrations and UI enhancements that I think will bring in a whole new group of users once they're able to work with things the way they're used to with other software. So yes. Yep. Okay, cool. And okay, so with that, I think we've gone over like sort of some of the highlights we've seen as far as like I saw as far as this week. And then let's jump right in, right? Let's jump right into the Obsidian Buttons plugin. So let me go, this is my note for it. Let's go ahead and check out the repo right here. All right. So at a high level, what is Obsidian Buttons? basically, from what I understand, is Obsidian Buttons is a way to add a UI element, specifically, as you might expect, a button. And what you can do is you can actually script things with it and do all sorts of things. So let's go ahead and learn together, because this is my first time getting to really play around with it. So let's dive in, shall we? So first thing first, looks like there is a button maker, and then the button maker lets you configure things. We'll learn about those things in a little bit. Okay, I'm a big fan of just honestly just diving in, because once we get a feel for it, we'll get, I think, a better sense of what we want to do with it. So first thing first, what I want to do is, let's see, let me make a notes section here so that we can jot down notes. I'm gonna get started by installing and trying out the Create Button Wizard. Okay. The other thing too with plugins is, which I think is important, is contextualizing why a plugin is useful, right? It's very easy to get caught up in like how exciting something is, but the truth is we install things and configure them so that we can help make ourselves more efficient, or basically more effective in the work that we do. So for me, the buttons here that I'm interested in is doing things like inside of my Obsidian Office Hours. As you can see, I have a bunch of things where I have every episode, but every time I want to create a new one, I have problems, right? Basically. And so what I want to do is figure out how can I create a button that, by problems, I mean I have to like recreate it manually, where I just create it and it automatically increments based on like the last one that I found. Something like that. We'll see how far we can get with it. But that's the problem I'd like to solve, is minimizing the amount of work that's done into that requires. Okay. So with that said, let's kick it off. Community plugins. We're going to go ahead and browse. Let's look for button. Here we go. Buttons by Sam Morrison. Perfect. Let's go ahead and install that. So here, create buttons in your Obsidian notes to run commands, open links, insert templates. Very, very good. I'm excited. All right. So we've gone ahead and enabled it. And yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. Use the button maker. Let's see what happens. All right. So Command P, button maker. Here we go. Excellent. So let me see. We're going to go ahead and let's use the Obsidian button plugin as like a sandbox area. So what's a good one for like playing around with, like, is there like a sandbox icon? Sand. All right, I'm just gonna use a beach icon. This will be my sandbox area. Hello, new dev. No, you did not miss the dream. Glad to have you here. We're taking a look right now at Obsidian Buttons, and we're gonna go ahead and see how we get started with that. So the button maker here, what do we want to call this button? My awesome button. Well, let's say create Obsidian Office Hour page. That's what we're going to want to do. What kind of button am I making? Okay, am I running a command prompt? A URL, oh, okay. Templates, text, insert, create text. That's interesting. Okay, so let's start with a template. That makes the most sense. So what are we going to do? We're going to prepend with the Obsidian. Oh, does it not have autocomplete? Oh man, this is not good. Obsidian Office Hours page template, I believe is what I call it. But watch this not work. Provide a custom button ID. Okay. Creator mash numbers. We'll like to remove this button after clicking. Nope. Oh, so it could be like a one-time deal. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Would you like to replace lines in the note after clicking? And would you like to inherit arguments by adding an existing block ID? I don't know what that means. Do you want to convert a template or command inside of your button on each click? Oh, interesting. So I think what they're saying here is that you could technically run a variable that like gets injected each time. And then custom class for button styling. I'm glad this is here for personalization. That's very cool. And then you can default it blue, red. Okay, let's just do default. Let's go and insert it. Okay, so it looks like this is the syntax here. Very clean, actually. We can see here triple backtick with the button. Action, Obsidian prepend template. Okay, so now if I go out of this and click. Oh, that did something. I can't tell what exactly. Oh, wait. It did exactly what I thought it would. It actually did insert the template. That's pretty great. Except, where's my button? Did my button disappear? Oh, my button's all the way down here. Okay. So let me undo that and go back. Okay. So instead of prepend, let me append. So that way it goes below. So let's try that again. Append template. Hey, that was a lot easier than daily notes page template. Okay, TFT hacker here. Apparently, we got another basically testimonial saying that the button is very, very powerful as far as being used in templater scripts and daily notes page template. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm liking this already, like the ease of which that happened. So that was good. My only thing now is we need to figure out. So that's just a pending template, right? Appending something to the bot. Okay, actually, hold up. Notes. This is what I'm saying. Okay, so use cases, right? This is what we want to talk about. Ability to insert or how to say prepend or append text below or above the button. Okay, so that could be useful again if you're like sort of generating. I'm trying to think of what problem that solves. But okay, meanwhile, that's one thing we could do. But what I'm trying to do here is we want to run a command. I think that's really more of what we're thinking here. So if I go into button, although why isn't button in my set? Is there no settings for button? Oh, interesting. There's no settings that I can see. Okay. So button maker. Okay, here's the thing though. Command prompt. So, okay, I guess we need to dive into docs at this point because we've managed to figure this piece out, and now I want to figure out how to do a bit more of this stuff. Okay, so inline button, not what I'm looking for, swap button, cycles through other buttons, and then use a swap button to successful action. So each one has a, so swap is inline. Okay, so swap button to me is more like a workflow thing, right? Click this, then go to the next button, then go to step 3, then go to step 4. Inherent arguments templater button allows you to supply templater command inside of it. The command is converted to its value when the button is clicked and then converted back to the command on the next click. This is best used with the new note of button. Oh, okay, hang on. This is good. Okay, this example looks interesting to me. So let's take a look. So what I think, if I understand correctly here, let's delete this one now, is that we have the ability to do a button maker that creates a new a templater button. So is there a templater button? Okay, insert or create notes. Oh, here we go. This is what I mean. Okay, I expected this verb to be create. I'm not going to lie. So create note, and then the note we create is going to be whatever this variable is. So that's why it can be dynamic. Oh, okay, wait. Nope. That doesn't. Okay, hang on. My template. So again, Obsidian Office Hours page template. The note name should be new, let's say 000 episode. Should the new open in a split pane? I love this option. Yes, that makes me very happy. And then that's it. Let's see what happens here. Do you want to convert a template command inside your button? Okay, this might be, I think this is going to be necessary. So we're going to go ahead and insert this. So now we have our undefined. Oh, wait, of course it's undefined. But then if I click this, this does create a new 000 episode. That's really good. Now, to solve my problem, though, this is going to, I think this is going to take some finessing because we have a type note of this action where you take this template, which is fine, but this here can be an Obsidian template command. So in other words, what you could do is actually generate that dynamically, but this means we need to do two things now. Okay, let's step this through. One, we need to be able to fetch the last episode of Obsidian Office Hours. Oh man, this is going to be tricky, I think. And then pass that into a variable for templater to use. And then once we learn how to do that, then we can pass this into the new button command. Okay. So, all right, how are we gonna do this? First thing first, we need to figure out, I know that data view is probably our safest bet, to be honest. Because when we go to Obsidian Office Hours series, we can see that data view is actually able to, one, fetch all of the ones that are qualify as an episode. But more importantly, since my episode, my episode number is being pulled dynamically, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, that's not terrible. It just means it's got to get parsed. And then that's the one we want. But luckily, though, I am sorting everything by I do have the date associated with every single one. So with Obsidian Office Hour 2022, although honestly at this point, I'm not going to lie, it makes almost sense to have like, let me see, VHS. Here we go. Episode 22. I might even just, this point, it probably makes sense to automate this piece right here so that this always comes down here so I don't have to parse it and it's just part of the data. Okay, so assuming that's that, we can assume that if we sort the data view requests and take by date, and assuming it does it correctly as far as chronological order, then that will allow us to fetch the most recent one. And from the most recent one, we can grab the episode this, and then we can increment it by one. And that's what we want to do for like that piece. But the only problem is we need to be able to do that in a way that's in the templater context. So given that information, so let's see, Obsidian templater with data view. There's got to be someone who's done this before at this point. Someone has got to combine them. Did anyone combine it? Okay, list where TP. Okay, this is cool. Actually, I did not know this was possible. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Oh, I see what it did. This one is being dynamically generated on render, meaning when you create the note, it'll go and update the data view to reflect that date. This is cool, to be honest. So I'm actually just, what do we do with Obsidian? We take notes when we see something cool. So Obsidian data view and templater pairing examples. That's what I hope will catch my attention at some point. So that is one of the examples. So I'm not going to worry about that. No, that's the one I want. I want it to be the other way around. I want to use templater. I want to use data view plugins showcase. I want it to be the other way around. Okay, if I remember correctly, actually, Obsidian Data View did mention this because Michael here actually had the foresight that was like, okay, the ability to query is something that we want to actually give other plugins the ability to do as long as you have Data View installed. So if I remember correctly, let's go into the reference for the docs. Plugin developers against Data View. Okay, so they have the ability, let's see, code block examples. Okay, DV is what gets accessed. I wonder, can I use data view in Obsidian templater? How to use, yeah, I just want, how to create a bookshelf, data view JS. Okay, I might have to go a little bit on my gut here. Because what we need to do is we need to open up a templater that returns a specific thing. So meaning if I do Obsidian templater, and then we come in here, let's look at here. So we want to just run we basically want to run JavaScript at this point. So that's probably where we're going to start. So overview, script functions. Okay, interesting though. Hang on. A user script function. This might make my life easier to write. Because if it's already in JavaScript, this would make sense. So, okay. So don't break my brain. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to bring up VS Code. And then here's my digital forest. Okay, inside of scripts, we're going to create a script called... I'm going to say get latest episode. Okay, that's what we want to do. And then knowing that, let me bump this up a little bit. We can then say, okay, function get latest episode. We'll worry about the argument later. Then this will get exported to that. Okay, that's good. So to make sure this works, actually, let's go ahead and follow along. I always like a good hello world. This worked. All right, so now inside of our settings here, let's say button plugin, what I should be able to do is invoke it with tp.user.getLatestEpisode, and then I can just call it like that. And then if I render it, nothing happens, which makes sense because I have to replace and search current file. So here we'll open up the console here. Great, a lot of things are yelling at me, not a big deal. And then we'll go ahead and replace the templates in the active file. Okay, that's fine. Template error parsing tp.user.getLatestEpisode is not a function. What? I just did that. All right, refreshing real quick. Replace, and it did not like it. Okay, this is why we do hello world. So why did this not work? Function, my function, great. Simply put get latest episode matches here, and then get latest episode is here. So why did this not work? tp user.myscript, the opening close is correct. Oh, I wonder if it's a live preview thing. Let's just make sure that's not what's getting in the way. So inside of editor, turn off live preview, turn off, turn back on. Okay, here we go. Now we can replace snippet in active files. Still didn't like it. Okay, so it wasn't live preview. That's good to know. So turning that back on, refresh. All right. How do we do this? tp.user.myscript. I mean, actually, you know what? Let's make sure the other one works too, actually, because I do have a MyScript in here. So if I do that and then replace inactive files. Oh, yeah, see, that worked. So you see that tp.user.myscript is reflected here, and it is totally working. It says return this is my string. So what was wrong with this? Bum, bum, bum. And format Peloton class is this giant one I wrote. That works too. Module.exports equals get latest episodes. My function, my function. Function, get latest episode. It worked. I really don't know why it's yelling at me. Okay, that's fine. For the sake of time, we're going to move on. We know that MyScript works. We're going to commandeer this. Function arguments, it does get TP, and then it gets all internal variables of template. Oh, does this mean we also can get in script user function, you still access global namespaces like app? Ooh, okay, hang on. This is actually good because this means that we can get access to app, it looks like. So inside of here now, if I run, replace templates in active file, yes, that did work. So now inside of here, I believe we get access to plugins And then data view should be in here. App. No, not app. Plugins. Data view here. DV. Data view dot app. Customize is mobile. Okay, we're close because we have access to this. So how do we call the data view? That's what I need to know. Because the answer is in here. If we need to call data view, let's see, Obsidian data view docs. Yes. Plugin developers. Yep. That's fine. Use it programmatically. This.app.enable. Okay, if it has data view, this.app.plugins API. If API does something, then do something with it. Okay, so it's the API functionality that we're looking for, I think. Okay, so if this works the way I think it will, we're going to go into the Obsidian Office Hours. Obsidian Office Hours, because I've already written the code there, actually. So meaning that if we go to the series and take a look here, this means we can validate that there is this pages here, right? Pages grabs all this stuff. And so actually, you know what? Let's just grab this real quick. Let's just grab this snippet. And then this means that we can say that pages is equal to app dot actually here, what does it say? App enable plugins had app plugins data view. Okay, so meaning we can then make the assumption that it has app once we okay, once we have the app dot data view, no, plugins dot data view, plugins dot data view dot API. Okay, that's kind of verbose, but that's okay. App dot plugins dot data view dot API dot pages. I am going out on a limb here. So this should give us access to this. Then we can go ahead and return, or let's just go ahead and log the pages that we get back. Forget about message. Let's get rid of that. And then, yep, that's fine. So let's save that. And so inside of here now, if we go inside of this, we should be able to replace in current file, and we should see something logged out here. Okay, we have a proxy with the values. This looks like that worked because we got everything here. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, we got access to it here. This means we now can actually get the latest one. And funnily enough, can we assume? No, we cannot. Okay, that's fine. All right, keep at this. We got this. Office Hour series. All right, so I did this the math already as far as like we know that we need to go ahead and map over everything. More importantly, we need to actually get out the latest date. So it includes, okay, how do I do a sort? Okay, so this is where we need to go back and do a sort against the JavaScript API. So over here, we need reference. So sort, how does sort work? DV table pages sort BB date. Okay, so meaning that inside of here, we can say, hey, now that we've gotten all of that stuff, we can sort it, right? Let me look. DV table sort. Yeah, sort B rating. Okay. B dot date. I don't know if this is going to work that well. Is it sort by instead? Sort by? No, sort. It is sort. Yeah, okay. So if that's the case, then we can save this, go back in here. Actually, we need to open up the plugins. And then let's tp.user.myscript is what we're running. So let me copy that real quick. And then let's replace active internal file. Values. Okay, so it looks like this is 2021 05 27 06 03 06 10. Okay, this is looking good. So the most recent one should be 11 18. That's good. Although I totally just thought of something too. I don't even need to sort and get the last episode, because literally as long as we can simplify this. The algorithm's even easier than this. I don't even need to sort, because we can say number of episodes, right, is this dot length, and then if I'm actually understanding this correctly, then we can just return number of episodes directly, because the number of episodes should actually. Oh, well, yes, Jacob here with the array sort, that also works as well. Good tip on that. But now that we have this, if I'm not mistaken, we can replace this search replace active file. I automatically get 23. And ironically enough, actually, how did I get 23? Oh, it's 23 because I was saying we're on episode 2020. We're on episode 22 right now. It's because I have a conflict here for some reason. And I don't see why this is here. So I'm just going to delete this file. Okay, now that we have that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this once again. If we do this and replace, that's how many episodes we have. We are on the 22nd one, which now means we can, this is it. Actually, we don't even need to go any farther than this. Assuming, again, of course, this assumes my data is clean. But then again, if my data were, well, anyways, I don't need to make the perfect scenario. I just needed to make it work for the most part. I would know if something's wrong. So this is awesome because, okay, so my script does work. So what we could do then is then say Obsidian Office Hours and then drop this bit right here, 023. That's it. And then the only thing we need to do, actually, I just realized, is inside of the button maker, there was a configuration to run the templater conversion. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, wait, templater true. So that means this needs to be like this. And then I think we got this. Okay, so then here we go. Click. I don't think that worked. At that action note. Oh, wait a second. Replace. Go. That doesn't. No, that's not what we want at all. We're close. I think we're close. Here should then convert the note to, and so okay, so name create o episode like that. If I create it, there we go. Oh, that, I think that did it, except it still was slightly off. And more importantly, this thing ran already. I wanted to like permanent. I only wanted to run on render. So maybe that's another reason why it was saying, actually, in the button maker command, we saw what type it was. Would you like to replace the lines in the note after clicking? I don't know what that means, lines after clicking. But I would like this thing to recreate itself, though. Swap. Remove, replace. Okay, this makes it slightly complicated because it looks like the button, once it renders, it actually replaces everything in the template. Yeah, convert a template command inside of your button each click. Yeah, that is what I want. So Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something because this is something that will always be dynamic. So the moment I click on it, Office Hours 22, then we can see here. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, wait, that worked the way, I think that might have worked the way I wanted it to. 23. Oh, wait, it's only working now. But that already exists. Nope, it should not already exist because you should be going towards 24 now. Right? Because there should be more episodes on Obsidian Office Hours series at this point. There should be a bunch of random ones. Oh, it's not. What's my query for this? Where it is Obsidian Office Hours series. Yeah, so if I did this, Obsidian Office Hours series. Yep, that should match. Query where type. Oh, type. Nope. Nope. It should totally be more than 23 at this point. That's the whole point of this. Is that it should track it. There's an error. Maybe the file already exists. Okay, well, you're telling me that if I do this, come out here, create. Yeah, it thinks I'm still 22. That's a little scary because this here, unless the data view API is cached and your response isn't automatically refreshed. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. Because the length should have changed. And to prove that, so let me just do a new page, right? Like, where's my sandbox node? Okay. Inside of here, if I drop this and I run the replace inactive file, oh, it still says 22. But that's not true at all. If I look here, although yeah, 23 is not even showing up on this page. Why is 23 not even showing up? Because if I go Obsidian Office Hours 23, oh, wait a second. Miscellaneous type content. No, that's not it. But why is it not showing up? All right, restarting Obsidian to see if that's like a caching thing. Oh no, open that up, refresh. Yep, 23 is not showing up. Okay, so that explains that. So data view, ironic, is not showing this for some reason. So let me do this. Update link in one file. That works. So now this should appear. Is it because there's no date? Like, but the date should actually be automatically populated in here. Nope, date is here. Nope, shouldn't need a status either. Now I'm incredibly confused. All right, Obsidian, let me create it manually. Here's my 24th episode. Okay, and then everything has been done via the template. And so if this works out correctly, 24 does show up. Why isn't 23 showing up? Obsidian Office Hours series. Wrong folder. Oh, Jacob with the clutch suggestion. You are, I think you're right. Yup. It's creating it in the wrong place. Okay, that's a relief. So let's delete that, delete this, delete this. So what we've learned then is that the plugin here is actually creating this in a specific. So I think I have to preface this with Zettelkasten like this, and then I think it works. So let's try this again. Create episode. This now says 24. So now we should see 25. Yes! That was the problem. Okay. That is epic. Oh, that is huge. Okay, so we did it. That's it. That's how we create an episode. So don't get me wrong. You might not need to do something as dynamic as this. So all this JavaScript that we just talked about, totally optional. I'm still wondering why my other one doesn't work, but I can refactor that later, aside from the stream. But this is really cool because now what we basically learned is that with the button plugin, you can basically have it do, well, a lot of what you want, because combine that with the data view, you can organically create like anything really, tasks. You could dynamically populate certain things. I feel like some of the dynamic things will need to be enhanced with some JavaScript depending on what you want to do with it. But this is big. Oh man, look, see, prepend weather template with updated weather. Prepend a weekly to-do list. So weekly action note, remove other buttons. Okay, this is definitely entering in the official Bencode Zen Vault Obsidian recommendations. This is very, very cool. New note from template, calculate button. I wonder though how you would do. Interesting. The swap button is interesting. Oh, you know what? I know what swap button is useful for. That would be very useful if you're moving something through a workflow. So like, although now that I think about it, my only question with this is, can you, it said that it can do commands, but can it do Obsidian commands? Because that's what I'm really curious about, because there's a lot of things we can do in Obsidian that would be nice as a button. I'm thinking specifically, sorry, sirens. Yay. Okay. The one I'm thinking of specifically, though, is imagine if you could click a button and then have it update the meta edit data. It would be cool to actually script that to go like, hey, when I click on this button, switch the workflow on things. That would be pretty darn nice. I'm not gonna lie. Well, anyways. All right. Honestly, that was incredibly successful. We have, everything's working. And Obsidian Button. Sam, fantastic job. I don't think you're in the chat, but if you're watching this later, I just want to know, bang up job. Looking forward to watching like the talk that you sent me. And I'll try to include those resources in the episode when we upload that. But yeah, this has been great. Okay, switching it over. All right, so hopefully we're back on camera. All right, that did work. Great. All right, well, so for today, we've got quite a bit done. I didn't expect, well, actually, no, I'm lying. I had high expectations, and as far as Obsidian Buttons go, it was as easy to get started as I thought it was. I guess I got in my head, honestly, when I first learned about it. But certainly there is certainly a lot to deep dive as far as like use cases, how to hook it up with certain commands. I do think there's probably more to this that hopefully as I experiment with things with my own system, I'll be sure to share those. And then eventually maybe there will be like some best practices or design patterns we can use with buttons, because I feel like the use cases are probably fairly similar a lot of times when it comes to designing those things. So with that said, so that I think is it for today's stream. Really appreciate everyone hanging out today. Jacob, thanks for the clutch save on figuring out why the heck my queries weren't updating at all. And it's because it was going in the wrong folder. So good to know that all worked out. And otherwise, so hope you all enjoyed learning about Obsidian Buttons. All right. Thanks again, everyone. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.